Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate some hacking techniques and apply them towards a modern video game for the Commodore 64. The game in question is Sherwood, and it was released in December of 2025. While I think the game plays very well, I would like to play a little more freely on it, but I find that the number of lives in the game is a stumbling block. It discourages exploration and trying things. So I'm going to use Super Snapshot to use the Game Master and try to give the game infinite lives. In the first pass here, I know that I have 3 lives left, so I've told the cartridge how many lives. It has examined memory for possible locations where the lives are being determined. Now that I've lost a life, I'm going to go back into the Game Master menu and retell it how many lives I have left. It's going to examine memory and look for the code that may have reduced my number of lives. It's found 2 locations. So now I'm going to go back into the game and I'm going to test the implementation. I'm going to deliberately lose a life here. The number of feathers at the top of the screen show how many lives are left, and I'm not losing any. So this is working. We're still just in the investigation phase here. I'm letting Super Snapshot do all the heavy lifting and figure out what solution needs to be implemented. I am not going to use this solution on its own. Instead, I'm going to recreate this solution. So let's go into Memory Monitor and see what changes were made by Super Snapshot. The first location that was on that previous screen is 7D1E in hexadecimal, and it is showing that the code there is an LDA of memory location 11 hexadecimal. And the second location is 80A9 hexadecimal. And finally, I'm just going to get some decimal computations of what these locations and numbers mean so that we can use them for the next step. So here's the game plan. In order to get infinite lives on Sherwood for Commodore 64, for the version that was released in December of 2025, you need a freezer cartridge such as Super Snapshot or Action Replay. There may be others too. If you have the Super Snapshot, you can modify the memory locations directly with the ML monitor. If you have Action Replay, you can do pokes. Okay, so I'm going to start over and get a clean run, and this is where the manual hacking comes into play. Reload the game, wait for it to decompress in memory, and just before it starts, we're going to activate the snapshot cartridge to suspend the memory. With the game suspended in memory, I'm going to go into the ML monitor. Let's take a look at those 2 memory locations and update the memory with the byte alteration as per the game plan. So instead of C6, we want A5. So now that we're finished making the alterations, we can exit this monitor. To save this altered version of the game, we can make a snapshot. The save size of the modified game is 224 blocks, which means it takes up nearly all the 64's memory. Remember before when we loaded it, it was 134 blocks and it was highly compressed, but expanded in memory, it's using all the memory. And unless I'm mistaken, the sprites alone take up a quarter of the memory. Snapshotting the save state of memory is for personal reasons only. This is for my personal gain so that I can play the game the way I want to. I'm not encouraging anyone to do this for distribution reasons. Okay, this is the final pass. Now that we have a snapshotted game, we can load it up, play it, and try it out. It's working. We got infinite lives. We got our trainer now. I do feel justified in putting a trainer on this game because while it is an action platform game, it has a high puzzle component to it, and it does require you to be thorough. You have to collect coins in this game in order to get past certain parts of the game. So I think it's only fair that we remove some of the stress of having lives and, having a game over late in the game. If you've ever played the 2012 game called Fez from Philfish, then you might know what I mean when I say that there's a lot of joy to be had just in playing with the mechanics of a game. So that's the video. I hope you learned something, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.